Hey Tawala, welcome to it, man. Another excellent show ahead of us, the Pitchside podcast. And as usual, I have an amazing lineup with me. Teko Modise and Domi. Nigga celebrate. Why not? No, it's the pre-celebration. Wait for the main one. Recorder. Hali recorder Pitchside after final. Never limpon.
That would be nice actually, record immediately after the final.
Actually, it's not a bad idea.
That would be dope.
Why?
Eh?
Why?
When the emotions are still high.
I don't like it when the emotions are still high.
But football is about emotions.
Actually, there's no football without emotions.
Yes.
See what I mean?
Yeah,
there we go.
man.
Yesterday, semi-finals, MTN8, we won 2-1. What's your take on the game, Teko?
I think it was, in the beginning, I think it was more of a technical game.
Yeah.
From the both coaches, which was expected, I think. And then it started changing by phase to phase.
Yeah.
It started being open, sometimes it get closer. But also looking at the lineup at Kaizer Chiefs from the beginning, I knew it's just going to be one of those situations where they want to battle in the midfield. Because they had Matlo, Castillo and Mart.
Yeah. Yes.
So those are more or less the same players.
Yeah.
But it's just that Castillo maybe gives you something different by going inside the box and cause problems for Sundowns. But other than that, you had... I still want to figure out.
No, but that's confusing for me because I know how 8 plays.
Yeah.
And I know how 6 plays.
Yeah, I think he plays in between the 6 and the 8.
No, you need to decide.
No, but also, but the clever thing is like Mart now becomes an important player for Castillo to shine. Because when Castillo goes forward, then Mart sits a little bit. But also it compromises Mart's quality now.
Yeah.
But aggressive as a
did you expect a goal within the first 10 seconds of the game?
No, not at all. But I knew it was going to be important for Sundowns to score early.
Yes.
Just because also, one, the heat, the fan, just to frustrate Kaizer Chiefs. You need to score early and keep the ball.
Yeah.
And once you keep the ball, start opening up, and then you're going to actually get the second one. But I didn't expect Shalil to score that early. But also, if you realize after that goal as well that it actually maybe that's a goal that actually helped Kaizer Chiefs to perform a little more better.
Yeah, because now they were under pressure.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they needed to come out and play a little more different, and it was interesting to see actually.
Domi?
I must say I'm very impressed.
Yes.
Kaizer Chiefs' performance the whole match.
Yeah.
And of course, it was so unlike them to play like that against Sundowns over I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
To see them coming out of that last line to push a little bit higher up on the field, I think that was impressive.
Yeah.
I think that the other thing is the midfield Chiefs. They didn't back off on Mamelodi Sundowns.
It was dope to see.
It was lovely to see.
Yeah, it was nice to see.
And as a team, Mamelodi Sundowns caliber, you want opponents to play against you.
Yes.
And it's a free-flowing football,
Yes.
and you love being challenged.
Yeah.
And you can only see your quality as players when you've been challenged.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes the reason why we become sloppy in some matches as the season
there's no pushback.
Yeah, there's no pushback. And sometimes it becomes so easier because sometimes I know I'll play 5 matches without finding a team that will push us a little bit back. And this is a big exercise for a big week rather for Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yes.
To get 2 teams that will push back a little bit and sometimes defend. How do we
look when we defend? How
because we have never been tested in that last line. So I was so impressed with Kaizer Chiefs in the fact that, of course, the mistake of the first goal maybe changed the whole plan, Chiefs. But then I can easily say, looking how they responded, it was just a response for a big team that says...
That's how you should respond, actually.
As a big team,
So as a captain, what are you saying then to your teammates? Because it's 10 seconds into the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's not 5 minutes, not, because usually you take the first 5 minutes to really settle down, bring the ball down, make sure everybody's gotten a touch of the ball so that you can get into your rhythm. But this is 10 seconds into the game.
You should take it personal as a player now. It's no longer about what has been said in the change room towards the match.
Yeah.
You also, I'll use this example, how he used to operate when we concede a match, a goal in a match.
Yeah.
So it has to be personal as players to say, okay, we've conceded, then what?
Yeah.
Are we going to drop our heads and then I'll use this example. When we used to be goal down, he will scream from there, let's go and play. It's time for response.
I mean, Nasamaki, so
no, you've never seen him. I've got the seats. But you have to trigger him into that level of, of provoking him. Make sure that he plays angry.
Yes.
Then you'll see the best of him. Then you'll see a lot of touches that will be business-wise.
Yes.
Then you'll see a different him when he's angry.
When he's angry.
So sometimes you'll wish opponent will go hard on him on first tackle to get the best of him. But I think with the Chiefs match, after conceding that match, after the goal, you can easily tell they were angry with themselves.
Yes.
Because the tactic that they practice 4-5 hours on the pitch, it didn't come out all right. I'm sure in the training field they tried it and it's like, no, it's working.
Yeah. Coach Rulani spoke about the importance of having, if you see the first leg, how Chiefs played the ball when they kicked off, and then you come to the second leg, and they planned for that exact same kickoff and it resulted in a goal. How important are those finer details? Because now, I mean, if we're looking at, let's say we watch 5 games and we say every time we kick off, they play 3 passes, it goes to the goalkeeper, then goes to the right. Where can we intercept it to create a goal-scoring chance within that first 2 minutes or whatever the case is?
You see now, Naves, that's when then the importance of details comes in. And when you do analyze, you leave no stone unturned. You look at the patterns. Sometimes when we analyze teams, when they analyze other teams, they look at the star players as to what they do. Yeah. Instead of analyzing the rhythms and the patterns that happens often in the game. Yeah. Because then that's how team operates. If you wanna mark Mshishi 1v1, then you're gonna have a problem. But you need to look at the rhythm as to when Sundowns has the ball in this area, where does Mshishi normally goes? Then you defend
the rhythm.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what you need to do. And with Coach Rulani, he's a coach that really emphasizes on details because of in such a game, it's just small margins. Yes. And it wasn't a game that I was expecting, like I said, 10 seconds into the game and then there's a goal. I was expecting a game where it's going to be highly technical. There's going to be a lot of physicality because people want to win this game, but also it's going to be one of those games where just a small margin, maybe one mistake or a moment of brilliance will happen just to win the game. Because I was expecting a 1-0 game, not necessarily a 3-goal game. But it just it shows the maybe the gap between Coach Rulani and the rest, in terms of details and focusing on the details as well. Because you look at, if you really look at that clip, when Kaizer Chiefs started the ball, look at the intentions of Shalil. Already he was, before even they started, he was already on the opposite half. They had to bring him back because already he wants to go and put pressure there. Whether he was putting pressure to block the ball, that's a different story. But maybe he was trying to block so that it mustn't go where it's supposed to go. Then fortunately enough, it landed for him. And Peter Shalile, any day, that angle was so awkward for him to be able to score. And on his weaker foot, he didn't even look up. He just knew. I think it's just the confidence of intercepting the ball. You can risk, it's 10 seconds in. Just try it and look at what happened.
Amazing. Now, the next talk is always talk about the press. Especially when we don't have the ball. How did you see us yesterday without the ball?
Well, I would easily say now it's really a part of the details that you go about Sundowns, where you don't want to wait for a team to have a momentum in building up from there, because sometimes you let the team and they gain confidence because they combine the 3 passes and so Sundowns never allow you to do that. That's a tactic where they will want to lose the ball and immediately they counter press you. I can easily say yesterday you can easily tell that they were coming from a difficult match over the weekend, because they did that in patches where even when they were pushed back, you can easily see the gaps were becoming bigger in the midfield, and that's so unlike midfielders of Mamelodi Sundowns, where they would want to play closer to each other. But of course, it was expected for me to see how how they wanted to react from that. But I can easily say there's a pure maturity performance by Mamelodi Sundowns, having the fact that two difficult matches you perform them with the same intensity. For me, I think, and especially when you play at 3 o'clock in you know how difficult that can be. It was hot.
Moving to the next critical phase of the game is just before halftime. We went and then we got the second goal. Ribeiro on his stronger left foot finding Peter at the back post. Also, once again, from that went from defense to attack, right? So that once again speaks to now the quality even going forward, to be able to defend a corner, then to run at it and get a goal on the other side.
I think it's. I mean, we lacked that for years, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have a transitional play because we didn't have the players to help us in transitional play.
Yeah.
I think now it starts showing now the importance of having Bonku, Maseko, Bo Ribeiro. You look at it was a corner kick for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yes.
And you're playing away from home. The score is 1-1. And this has got nothing to do with the coach.
Yes.
And I think at times we put in so much blame on the coaching staff. I think the players need to take responsibility.
Yeah.
In a game, Bruna, when we played the game Kanako.
Yes.
We always used to look at the clock. We always wanted to know what time is it, because then based on Nako we know how to play.
Yes.
Right. And I think Maubane, you look at the time that Chiefs conceded.
Yes.
They could have avoided it.
Yes.
Right.
Easy
But now what they did is it's because they're in this momentum.
Yes.
They took a risk, and which is the risk that never paid off, because once Ronan atola bolo, they tried to block it at first.
Yes.
But Ronan then found a space to play Mukwena drove with the ball. You look at the sprint that happened, but it's 3 o'clock, and you're from a very difficult game, Orlando Stadium, but you still have the will, to try and get into the box. And then once the ball was switched, you check I just like the mentality of Ribeiro. He wants to play the ball first time, it got intercepted. He still had to fight for the ball. And then after fighting for the get up, and Askaba emotional like a cross.
Yes.
It just lob it in, and then Peter Shalili is so calm at the back post. It was one of those things, like, now it makes me understand okay, Sharp, when Coach Lana spoke about having this type of players within the team this season, being able to win games different ways, because everybody knows that Sundowns is going to keep possession. Okay, Sharp. Maybe it's at times a game that we need to just use speed to get about possession, and it actually proved that, Maban.
100%.
I think you right get the details, Teko, because when you play get the details, you will always find the periods of attack and periods of, and for me, I think that was so suicidal of Kaizer Chiefs to concede in that time of that match, because those are the critical times. And like you said, momentum maybe what carried it through to level mail, and they no longer even look at the time. But I can easily say it was just could have been easily avoided, especially after at that time maybe one of the senior guys says.
Exactly, that's what's going to be my next question. Is it a lack of then senior players to be able to say, gents, critical moment of the game, slow it down, let's keep possession, go into halftime with 1-1 so that we can regroup and come back in the second half and go for it?
But I'll also say yes and no. In a sense, you need to know the game in that level, on that level, for you to be able to understand, okay, guys, we are 1-1. This, first of all, is we have Kaizer Chiefs had all these corner kicks. They've been taken by the same person. Outswinger, in-swinger, Dupree. So now, as an outswinger, I'll tell you this. When we're playing against a team that has an outswinger, the chances I fell on first post. So me, as a person that is not defending, I'll position myself that the chances are going to fall here. So I'm ready for counter-attack.
Yeah.
So now, you need to understand the game in that level. Or okay, Sharp. I mean, a Kaizer Chiefs team. And I look at the numbers inside the box. I look at the numbers of Sundowns players potentially that might run out of the box. I need to make that call. And sometimes maybe it's not a call that has to do with a technical team. It's a call that actually requires you to be able to react on the game. But also you look at the Kaizer Chiefs players, not to maybe match up line, but you look at the experience within the team itself. There's not much. You have players that from their previous teams they were not considered as senior players. So now they come to Kaizer Chiefs with such a game where now even if you shout, nobody will hear you.
Yes.
So you need to go crazy for people to understand. You understand? So I think it's one of those situations where all of them, they'll be able to learn from it. Even if you don't play Mamelodi Sundowns, you don't go, especially at that time, first half, you don't go like that, especially in the set piece.
Yeah, I was on Twitter Spaces and just on social media, and the one
they're toughening me. They're eating me.
Yeah, they're eating you. They called you a criminal. They said Teko is a criminal. There was two things. One of them was the call for the penalty. What's your take on it? Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
First of all,
what an accent? I'm like horses. I get somebody quoted on a horse's mouth.
First of all, I think the incident it's after the game, and my opinion, it won't change the results.
Yes.
And I think people are just mad because they want to be mad at something.
Yes.
Or someone rather.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm okay with that because I mean the space of Limosson is not a popularity contest.
100%.
Yeah. So now from the commentary booth, we had an opportunity to watch it on slow-mo.
Yes.
On a slow-mo, I see was it Maseko, ne?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was Maseko. Mdantsane got to the ball first, and you look at Mdantsane's body. He gets into the ball first, not to win the ball and play the ball. He gets to the ball first so that he can be fouled. And I'm speaking from a midfielder position.
Yes.
I'm a midfielder myself. I used to do those things.
Yes.
But that's what I was trying to explain. Or what I think Maseko got away with was because once it looked like it was, or once there was a contact, or whether there was or was not.
Yes.
Uchekele Ntula Maseko, he pulls back.
Yes.
So that pull back, it creates a doubt to referee already.
100%.
I wasn't saying that whether it should be a penalty or shouldn't be a penalty. I'm saying the reason. It's just that they chose to use whatever they choose.
Of course.
And we're dealing with people that are very emotional.
Social media, that's what it's about.
And that's why I don't stay there, because that's in the right place. So they'll never do anything to me.
It's been an interesting week. I think Domi here was also this week.
They were toughening us.
I guess Domi said Chiefs doesn't need a midfielder, they need a striker. But okay, we hear you.
But can I say something?
Yeah.
I think they do have a striker. You know, there's
in Gonzalez.
I know what happened Mabani, and I know how Kaizer Chiefs fans feel. There's no team that I talk better about than Kaizer Chiefs.
Okay.
I'll tell you what.
Yes.
They do have a striker. Dupree is a striker.
Yes.
It's a modern striker.
Okay.
Dupree is coachable.
Okay.
You look at the mistakes that Dupree did. Those are coachable moments.
Yeah.
He can't finish. As a coach, as a trainer, you stay behind it Dupree to improve.
Extras.
Nobody makes better runs in the PSL than Dupree.
Never.
Nobody. But it's just that for Dupree to be able to shine, who's a passer? Go to the Chiefs. So now you can't have a Dupree that makes all those runs. I actually had this conversation about it. You look at the player that has been sacrificed, who plays every position in Kaizer Chiefs. There's only one. That's Dupree. He plays on the left. He plays on the right. He's the one that crossed the ball that nearly resulted into a goal because he's playing now on the left. The goal that he scored.
The same Dupree.
The same Dupree.
So that's the ground you fell.
But the thing is, like, you'll never be created that ball. And for the fact, and I'm just saying, there's a lot of quality players who Kaizer Chiefs. But I'm just saying, why everybody else is playing in their own favorite position, and Mfano is always being moved around like a chessboard. If Mfano has been coachable, they do have the striker. Kaizer Chiefs, the last time Kaizer Chiefs possibly played with a target man, Mfetu, it was a long time ago. Maybe your Besuma, your Trompisi. They don't. It's not a team that's supposed to play with the top man, because what it does is now when you have a target man and you want to play transitional football, it's not going to happen. You need speed. Football now. That's why I'm saying Dupree is a modern striker. If they use him right, they don't have to go on the market and look for a striker.
Speaking of modern football and using speed, Maseko, he was one of the topics in one of the Twitter spaces about is Sundowns utilizing him correctly? Is he making the correct decisions when he has the ball? And what needs to improve?
I think he's a kid who just came into a very complex team.
Yes.
You can easily say where he comes from. He used to play direct football.
Yes.
Where as a winger you have to hack the line and dribble and cross. So now at Sundowns a lot of things are coming into play. Teko spoke about details of the game and when to run and when not to run. And I think he's at the right space where he's going to be coached enough to understand all those things. Because as a kid, the only thing that makes you happy is to play football.
Yeah.
And as raw as he is, he needs the technical team, of course, to pay more attention to him, to give him enough, bouquet of options.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
He just needs to know when to dribble, when not to dribble. I can easily say the same about the Ratomo kid.
Yes.
Where a lot of people are talking good about him. It's like he's a good player. Of course he's a good player. He's got talent. He's got ability to play the game of football. But then you need to be coached. You need to understand the game in that level, how Teko said it. Into that level, it must take it personal to say, if I've been coached, how are they coaching me from which base?
Yes.
So as a player, you need to have a base at least where I understand the game from this level, and I'm waiting for the coaches to take me to this level. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes.
So with Maseko, looking at him, he's got glimpse of being the best winger we ever found in the last, I don't know, I remember the old school wingers.
Yeah.
Of course, he needs to pay more attention to details.
Yes.
Of course. Then, okay, next to the line, I need to know what to do with the ball. Inside a little bit in the traffic, I can't run with the ball in traffic.
Yes.
It's impossible because when you run, you're looking at the ball and then everybody else is in front of you.
Yeah.
When I'm at the line, then that's where I can easily do some tricks and do whatever. So for me, I think he's at the right space now and the right age now to absorb every information that comes to him. And I think he shouldn't waste time. By second round of the season, he should be a different player.
100%. Now, are we saying, is Coach Rulani then throwing him in the deep end and forcing him to swim? Or should we then be holding back and saying, listen, we'll put you on maybe when we're 2-0 up so that you can then learn how to do these things better?
I think the best education in this context is the game.
Yes.
And those are the type of games that you need to learn, because then if you're getting into a game that is so easy, whatever that you're doing, and then once you pull it off, it looks like it comes out. So you think that whatever that you're doing is okay, and I think it's okay for him to be exposed in such a manner so that you can learn, and also it gives also Coach Rulani as well a buffer to understand, okay, maybe this boy is not as ready as I thought he is.
Yes.
Maybe there's certain moments or certain things that I need to work on. Because now I believe he's forever on the ground. So there's a problem.
Yeah.
If a player that is attacking, there's a problem. So we need to get more, spend time with Stuart. Because the thing is, like, when you're because when you are that talented, you need to be comfortable to play with your back with somebody here.
Yes.
And I think he's so scared to play with somebody here.
But
so you need to be able to play with that. And like Hlompho, like a place where he needs to receive and face the pitch.
Yeah.
At Sundowns, when you get into the pockets, the opponent is here. So you need to be comfortable playing. You need to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And once he gets into that comfortability, talent out like, because he's got a talent. It's just that understanding the game. Okay, what are the requirements from Sundowns? Yeah. When you get into the pockets, I can't run with the ball. And also, just to make a practical example, it was so weird also to see. I even spoke to Mshishi. Mshishi doesn't normally do that. He goes into the pocket, about a sharper skill, I lose a ball. What happened? It nearly resulted into a goal. But normally, how can it's you play simple. Because that's where the traffic is. Then, look at sweet.
Amazing, man. I can't wait to see a front three of Ngu, Tabelo, and Peter just running at defenders, because it's going to be a different nightmare
but
for
on
people
which
to
match
face. No, I'm saying moving forward.
Yeah, on which match?
Maybe Champions League.
Now you're talking.
Maybe Champions League.
Because I was about to say
in
the
PSL, everybody
the pitch is this small. But the pitch is so small.
No,
where are you gonna run to?
Maybe Champions League.
But no. Because it's totally behind the never.
But you used to find those passes.
But the game was different.
The game was different, and
the game was different.
Yeah, but does that not then give us an extra edge to say, there's this thing we have in the back pocket?
No, I think it goes back to the technique of the midfielders. I knew Teko cannot get the longer pass, but between the spaces, he will get that pass. I don't know how he does that. And with the right weight.
No, that's true.
I can.
How many headers did you score?
One.
What? How many what?
Headers, one.
Ning.
You know the funny part is, like, I never like getting inside the box to go hit the ball. But defensively, sharp. Like I've never scared of hitting the ball defensively, but attacking.
Like Temba Mavan. I laughed so hard because I knew he wasn't going to score.
But defensively, first pole, every game that we played, first pole Nemaga again. Because I'll hit the ball. But it's just that it was one of those weaknesses that I had in the game. And it's just so unfortunate that I never paid attention to it because I never thought that my game doesn't revolve in hitting the ball. So all I wanted to do was to make sure the weight of my pass, that's my game. I need to have the weight because I need to make it easier for Hlompho when he receives the ball. I can't pass just for the sake of I don't like a video session, but I've got 900 completed passes. But but what happened to Hlompho?
Yeah, 100%.
No, I get it.
No, amazing stuff. Now we're moving to another game. We're going to play Stellenbosch.
Very unpredictable team. I don't know how to explain.
But currently they're the team with the highest red cards in
the colored boys from Cape Town.
You
remember Santos, you used to play them.
I hated that team.
Why?
Man, they were aggressive.
You can't breathe, my friend. You know, where there's wind. It was not a nice team to play. No, it was not. They make it very difficult. But also there's something right, guys, that Steve Parker is doing at that team. You know, for a team that gives so many youngsters an opportunity, and those youngsters that show you quality week in, week out. But anyway, so that team, it's I think they always enjoy playing against big teams.
Yes.
But one thing that I have that I think it's a problem, their biggest Achilles, they're not good travelers. So now you find them go a bigger pitch, especially coming to Gauteng. They always struggle when they come to Gauteng in terms of getting results. And when they do get results, they're getting insane results. And I think we can have a comfort out. They've got a game before us. And that game will force them to exert all the energy that they need. So maybe come Wednesday they'll beat, because I don't think they don't have the depth.
But they're younger, so they do not recover quicker.
Recover quicker. It differ, and sometimes going to a match after the match still plays a toll.
And at some point, like how many teams Naves can say, "Hore, I played Chiefs and Pirates in the same week." And got the results. Because it requires a different energy. 100%. It's more mental than physical. So it requires you to think more, to anticipate. It requires you. How are gaming it? Related 2 games because how tired, how exhausted you are. Because tactics, you need to be right. Because once you're not one mistake, you lose the game. And I think because Stellis wants to win.
Yes.
Pirates wants to defend their title. So therefore, Stellis can't go into this game and thinking about the Wednesday's game. No. They need to go into this game trying to win the game. Because now Libo will be, they want to also make their mark. And I think that might be an advantage to us because they're playing it during the day game. So
there's this thing where after a cup final, the next game that your team plays, they lose.
Yeah. Especially the MTN8. I know that feeling.
Yeah. It stresses me out. I don't want to lie, but I think we've been very consistent. I mean, I was looking at it. I mean, in the PSL, we've only conceded 2 goals, and even in the MTN8 we've conceded 2 goals. We went and we played away. We won 4-0 in Africa. So we haven't been giving a lot of goals away. And my worry is that after such a big week of games, how do we go into the Stellenbosch game? What is our mindset? Are we then refreshing the team?
Well, let's refresh the team. The mentality of team is saying immaturity to that level, or whoever takes the jersey knows the responsibilities. And I can easily, comfortably say, I've watched the players, I've watched the team, how they play these matches. There's little room for mistakes for individuals. So that gives you so much pleasure to see and watch players, go into the match with the stress of winning football matches. And that's a stress of success, Naves. When you're too successful, the stress is you want to stay there.
Yes.
And Sundowns team is in that space where everything is against them.
Yeah.
So there's no room.
Yeah, that's why they're eating us on spaces.
They're busy with you.
That's the only place they can chow us.
Yeah. So that for me, I think it'll farm an upper hand when you're facing the matches, because then you're coming into the match knowing very well that the list is expected from the opposition, and the opposition gonna push you and try to force you to make little mistake, and then they score from there. But at the overall an open match, they can't give you that. You know very well. You must expect to at least try to score earlier and to open the pitch.
And also to answer your question up in a different way, like on the other side of the coin. You look at Mamelodi Sundowns in the last 7 games of the season last season. A lot of rotation. It affected the rhythm of the team in the league. And I strongly believe that we could have easily got to 72, 73 points. They could have broken that record. Because I think it's important for the current players to set their own standards.
100%.
You know? And with that, I think it comes with education. What is it that we've learned? Maybe the rhythm. Maybe we're playing too many games with maybe more or less the same group. So when to include other guys, maybe the rhythm gets affected a lot. So then, how do you start it? And I think it's important that maybe if that's going to be the case, because we're going to be in that situation come next season, next year. So then, how do you get into that? I strongly believe now there's certain games that you need to totally change the team.
Yeah.
Within the first, when everybody's still fresh, like this, like you said, if we're going down to Stella's game, do you want to rotate? I feel like going to Stella's game, I'll go with the same team that played over the weekend. Yeah. Because then I can rotate over the weekend, because at least I've got a buffer of 4-0. Yeah. I can rotate, but because Stella's now, I need to at least get 24 points. Yes. And be able to have a breather on the guys that I know that regularly, the 22 that I use regularly can get game time. I think you want to have Sipumbule more on the game. Yeah. You want to bring back Mkolisi on the game. Oh, yeah. You want to have Maseko to understand the system. You want him more on the game. You want Brian Onyango to be more on the game, because Champions League comes there. We don't want to throw him in another 18 games. So I think that's a stress that Coach Lane has, but I think that's a stress that any coach would love to have. Unlike having stress out, you don't have the quality to have a Champions League.
There's 6 trophies to play for in the season. 6. How many would you be happy with?
Sure. Realistically,
yes, 5 of the 6.
Yeah.
What are you willing to give up?
Yeah, I don't want the Bresna to come to me.
All right, sharp.
You want the brand to go like, oh, okay, so you guys aren't taking us serious. But the thing is, like, we as a team, we need to prioritize.
We used to have that.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll sacrifice one. There's one because of
we can't go there
because it takes longer, and in between that, there's a lot of things that are happening. Listen, the first thing is the biggest trophy that we need to win is the league, because that keeps in the Champions League every season. And the second one that we need to win, especially from and now I always say that the Sundowns now versus the Sundowns team that we played, this is quality. Yeah. More now, there's more quality. So I feel they deserve to win a Champions League, and they need to do justice for themselves to win a Champions League. Yeah. I think that's the second trophy that we need to win. MTN8, of course, we need to. I think if we can have a treble here, Mohai, and then win the Champions League,
would have done
exceptionally well because of those. Imagine how many games. Those are more than 60 games. Yeah, it's a lot of games, and there's a lot of games. There's injury, there's suspension. Yellow card, you know. So there's going to be a lot of those things within the season. Wow. But if you have a team that will be able to and push and play over 60 games and win 58 of those, it's a successful season.
Amazing. All right, gents, thank you very much for today. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to the game. We do have some comments that have come in from our YouTube page. Okay. Tsepiso says, wow, guys, this session is so amazing, guys. I learn a lot every time. This is a masterclass of life in general. Prajosta, thanks for sharing us on your special journey. And as for the hard work topic, guys, that's right. There's not too many legends that will give us this knowledge. I gotta say, I love this show as always. It brings a different twist to the game. Yeah. Thanks, Prajosta, for showing Coach Rulani, and big ups, guys, for your contributions. Salt and pepper.
What's wrong with them?
Lebu Mad says, JD, thanks for explaining to us, boss. You're a good human being. We appreciate your contributions to our rich history. Please come back even in the next game. I don't know about that. That man nigga sell out.
He's a Sundowns fan.
Andre Temba says, I hope this is the last time seeing Josta on Pitchside.
Wow.
And when Hlompho. Yeah. Ska defender nonsense ya dladla.
Ure.
I get no more defender go showing. When he was telling us that he left for money and all of those things, and you said you understand because he must move on, and I said to you, for example, as a Sundowns fan, you are hurt. This guy.
It's always the case when players move from one place to another. Let's think about Messi when he left Barcelona. Do you think Majida go happy go Barca?
But do you think? Okay, wait. But Messi didn't go to Real Madrid.
Oh well, maybe. Maybe.
Do you see? That's the difference.
Yeah, but Figo did.
That's why. Okay. Sell out. Sell out.
Okay, one day
we would have never forgiven Teko had he gone to.
Or if the move was different,
yes.
Swapped around.
So if you didn't go, if you went from Sundowns to Chiefs, they'd be eating you alive.
Yeah.
Okay, but you went to Cape Town City, and we're okay with that.
Okay. But okay. No,
that one, yes.
No, but I'm just saying it's. But guys, okay. When are we allowed as footballers to make a decision that actually suits our career, number one, and our families, with the fans and supporters to actually understand that at the end of the day, I'm an individual that needs to make my own decisions.
Never.
Because I understand as a fan.
Never.
I understand as a fan. But you happy as a fan. You're going to come back years later.
Yeah.
Where are they now? But if I had to make decisions that actually will affect my family positively.
It's a double-edged sword.
Okay. Yeah.
Either you lose or you lose.
Either way, I lose.
Either way, you lose.
It's just that we're in a position where, unfortunately or fortunately, everyone has an opinion about how you should live your life and not how we're not.
Unfortunately,
no, but not really. Why no? That 6 that will be for us again. So I have an opinion about
50-50.
So
in Chiefs, they get just 6 stars.
That's how in the entertainment world.
Yeah, because they feel like they own you because
that's not
but also
they relate to you is the way.
Fans are like
they feel like they relate to you.
We're emotionally invested. So like when we say we love you, like we really love you, and when you leave our team, you literally break our hearts.
Think about it.
So now let's say so based on that, so if I had to leave Sundowns and go to Cape Town City and score, so I wasn't supposed to celebrate because you guys.
No, it's up to you.
Fake an injury for that game. I mean, why do you want to score against us? You want us to hate you?
No, it's business.
Job.
It's business. And
but I get it.
I like the fans because think about it. Your team that you support. You love Barcelona, I know.
Yeah.
When they buy David Villa, you'll say, we bought David.
We
bought. That's how they feel.
Exactly.
We're part of the team.
Yeah.
So now sometimes I blame them, sometimes I understand because I've once been a supporter myself. I know how it feels.
Khunze says, Josta was one of my favorite players at Downs. Once he switched, I never looked at him the same. Broke my heart. I gave my love for him to Teko. What? Gainile love.
Hey, love too, man. Love you too, man.
So you see, it's a very emotional thing.
Footballers.
I knew Josta through his wife at the time, but when he moved, I stopped speaking to the guy.
Ow!
I'd go to his house and not even greet him because he's a traitor.
Naves
is such a football fan.
This thing is serious.
You're such a football fan, eh?
And it's
then
funny. You want to move to these guys,
So Josta did explain the reason why he moved again.
Yes.
I just wish and hope from that, there's a lot of guys who've actually been given a platform to actually speak about this thing. Because not every move was successful.
And not every movie was under your control. Sometimes you're reacting to certain things. Why want to
That's hard. When we don't move because you want to move.
Let me ask you a question, a tricky one, and we should be wrapping this up. But you've opened a can of worms.
No, not the
Did you ever move for money?
Never.
Unfortunately, no.
I've never no team. I've never negotiated a contract with any club that I played for.
You just took what was given.
I've never sat in the team room with Stan Matthews.
Yeah.
Dr. Ivan and Patrice to discuss. Never. Even John committees, never.
So your manager handled all of it?
Yeah, but it was never a conversation as to how much I want. I just wanted to play the game.
Man, don't manage us, Teko, man.
Even now.
So are you saying to me, you were never because at the end of the month you know what comes in. So for example,
after signing, it's not because of Kiarakile blind. I'm saying I've never like sat down with my manager like, okay, Rako Sundowns, so this is the price that we need to be looking at. Never.
Yeah, never.
And you must understand the circumstances in like move.
Yeah, no.
Like it's different.
Make sense. I know.
You understand? Go super sport and I move.
Coach if
because coach if
then
somewhere else.
Yeah.
So somewhere else where they're giving me an offer, which I can't compare with something else because I need to go to Orlando Pirates and play.
100%.
Go Orlando Pirates, I give via right. But I thank you, handshake. The only person that was willing to take a risk like Sundowns.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Pitchside podcast. Please like and subscribe and keep leaving your comments, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.
So, I got 100,000.